Lamont Roach went on to Akin Barack. Interview dropped today. And he's continuing his Gervonta Tank Davis, I Gotta Draw with Tank tour. And I gotta say, bro, as I went through, because they did a good job on the interview of talking about or labeling each part of the interview, right? And so you can go and you can click on each part of the interview. And I gotta say, bro, I see about 5, 6, 7 Tank Davis topics. And I don't hardly see no Pitbull Cruz topics, bro. I don't see no Pitbull Cruz topics. None whatsoever, fam. Is it like, are we really just lazy in boxing to where the only way a fighter can promote themselves is by finding somebody more popular than them and just latching on to them, bro? That's the first part of it. But the second part of it is I want to play for you guys Lamont Roach admitting that he would have taken the opportunity, but he feels like Tank Davis owed him a heads up. That Tank Davis's team owed him an explanation. Owed him something for taking the Jake Paul fight and instead of fighting him in the rematch. Let me play for y'all what Lamont Roach had to say. Very interesting. I'm going to come back and react to it.
Be upset with taking advantage of the opportunity to fight Jake Paul. Reportedly, there's about $40 million that he's going to get paid. Now, I don't know this to be, accurate, but I'm saying those are the reports, right? If you were in his shoes, wouldn't you do the same thing?
See, now, this is something that I explain and express, and I hope everybody gets. That opportunity is an opportunity that you probably cannot pass up. But it's about how you handle it. It's about how you go about it. A lot of people don't know they actually exercise his rights to the rematch. So that contractually binds us to a fight. You cannot breach that unless you do what you have to do to handle the business to be like, okay, well, we mutually agree to let you move on and or swindle around and fight Jake Paul for this money. Because you can't do that. You can't up and breach your contract. That's just how business works. So if you think I'm going to sit back by the wayside and sit there and be like, well, even though I'm contracted to fight this guy for this amount of money on this certain day, I'm just going to sit here and be cool with, oh, he might not ever fight me, and he's going to go fight and get paid and get this money, and I'm not supposed to get anything. That's crazy. No,
I get that.
So my thing is, if I was in his shoes and he was in my shoes, I would call him and be like, or get somebody from my team to be like, hey, look, we're going to take this Jake Paul fight. We give you X, Y, Z to, step aside, and, we might revisit, we might not revisit. Let's get on the horn and let's figure this out. So, we can take this opportunity. I'm getting a big opportunity. Let me see what I can work out.
It's crazy because Lamont Roach is right and he's wrong at the same time. In the grand scheme of things, right? All things being equal. No beef, no gray area, black and white. I understand that he is correct in my opinion. Yeah, he's correct. But when you have the added layer of you shitted on me after getting the draw. And you've been on a whole tour acting like you beat me when you didn't. You've used my name to build up your brand. You petitioned the New York State Athletic Commission to get our draw overturned into a victory in your favor to further help your brand and to hurt my brand if I'm Gervonta Tank Davis. And I'm Gervonta Tank Davis' team. Now, I made this point before because it came up before, but now Lamont Roach is doubling down and saying it again. So I got to double down and say this shit again. If anybody out there watching this video can show me where Lamont Roach hit Tank Davis up or had his team hit Tank Davis up, hey, y'all, we just want to let y'all know we're about to petition the New York State Athletic Commission. You know, we want to give y'all a heads up that we about to do what's best for us, and we gonna petition the New York State Athletic Commission to try to get the win overturned. We still want to work out the rematch, or we may not. You know, you guys may not want to work out the rematch, but we just want to let you know that this is the move that we gonna make it. If you can show me that Lamont Roach let Tank Davis know that he was gonna do all those interviews, that he was gonna petition the New York State Athletic Commission, that he was gonna react to their fight 15 times on social media to build his name up, that he is going to use Tank Davis more than he uses Pitbull Cruz to promote his fight with Pitbull Cruz. If you can show me evidence of him letting Tank know that he was going to do that, if you can show that to me, then I'll be like, yeah, Tank should have let his ass know. But if Lamont Roach and his father didn't let Tank Davis and his team know that we're going to petition our loss against you in the amateurs, which they did, if they didn't let Tank Davis know that we're going to petition our draw with you in the professional ranks, if they didn't let Tank Davis know that we're going to use your name and we're going to go do multiple interviews, we're going to build a new brand, a YouTube channel, a Twitch account, we're going to build all of that off of your back, and the main topic of everything that we're going to do, we're going to make you the main topic. And are you cool with us using your name and not paying you for it? If they didn't do that, then I don't want to hear shit. I don't want to hear nothing about Tank Davis and his team leaving Lamont Roach high and dry. I don't want to hear shit. Because furthermore, Lamont Roach just admitted he do the same thing. So if Lamont Roach is admitting he do the same thing, he just try to do it differently, then how can Tank Davis be ducking him at the same time? So you would duck you too? Is it a duck if you would do it too? I'm so confused by this little snippet of this interview, bro. And then furthermore, it's a lie. Because you know what you won't be able to do? You know what Lamont Roach won't tell you? He won't tell you that he let Tank Davis and his team know that he was petitioning the New York State Athletic Commission, that he was going to use his name, image, and likeness to try to further his brand, that he was going to try to piggyback off of a draw and act like he won to denigrate that man's name and shoot that man's name down. So let me get this straight, bro. Let me get this straight from a business perspective, just from a human being man perspective. The expectation that Lamont Roach had was, allow me to shit on you. Allow me to act like I won when I didn't. Allow me to petition the New York State Athletic Commission and never tell you shit. Allow me to build my brand off of your name and not tell you that I'm going to do it. Allow me to do all of this shit. But then when you get ready to do something that could negatively impact me, you got to give me a heads up and you got to let me know, though. Man, get the fuck out of my face, bro. You want a certain level of respect that you were unwilling to give. And you may say, well, KO, it's a contract, which he lied. Which he lied about. When Tank Davis activated their rematch clause, Tank Davis is well within his rights to work out a contract, do whatever, and then change his mind. And then go do something else. Because they're the ones making the contract. They're the ones making the offer. They wasn't going to fight on Pro Box. It was going to be a PBC event. They can change their mind and go do something all they want to. As a matter of fact, you know how you know that's true? You know how you know that's true? Because Lamont Roach ass ain't suing a goddamn thing. Lamont Roach ain't doing nothing no more. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Other than, look, bro, Tank is going to go in this direction for right now. We can revisit this shit later. Do you want this Pitbull Cruz fight or not, dog? What you going to do? Good. You want to go to arbitration? You're not going to win. Niggas pull out of fights every day, B. People pull out of fights every day. Contractually obligated fights or and shit all the time. Have a whole fight done and then scrap that shit. And go with something else. It happens all the time in boxing. You think you're going to be the one to win the arbitration? You're going to be the one to win the shit? You really think Gary Jonas and Robert Diaz, that's who he said his team is, Gary Jonas, Robert Diaz versus Al Heyman in a legal boxing dispute. Who you got? Who you got? Who you got winning that shit, bro? Come on, fam. You know what it is. You know what it is, bro. This is all just more bullshit to let you know that all it boils down to is everything that Lamont Roach is saying Tank couldn't do or he can't do. The nigga's doing. Everything he's saying that is bad and silly and weird and bad for the sport of boxing. Everything that y'all are saying is wrong. Every single person to a man, when pressed on that question, they all say they would do it too. They all say they not passing up on that bag too. You want to see what boxers want to do in Lamont Roach's position. What I'm finding out is people want to talk out of both sides of their mouth. There's a saying called talking out of both sides of your neck. This is a perfect example of that. On one side, I'm gonna talk about how this is weird. I'm gonna talk about how it's bad for the sport. I'm gonna call him a duck. I'm gonna do a whole skit where I call him a gourmet duck. And sassy, and he's a duck, he's a duck, he's a duck. I'm talking out of this side of my mouth, out of this side of my neck. But then, when I get over to this side of my neck, and you press me on it, and you ask me, well, can you blame him? Would you take that opportunity for that type of money too? Oh, I would have took the opportunity. I just would have did it different. I would have at least called him first. I would have at least hit him up, you know what I'm saying? Give me a phone call, get on the horn. I would have at least paid him some sort of step-aside money since I'm going to get a bigger opportunity. Lamont Roach wants to make so much. He want to make money off of fighting Tank. He want to make money off of Tank paying him step-aside money. Go get your own bag with Pitbull. Sell your pay-per-view. Akim Barack just asked Lamont Roach 1,500 Tank Davis questions, bro. And not nothing but like 2 or 3 Pitbull questions. And one of the Pitbull questions was, who your dream matchup after you get done with Pitbull? One of them was a dismissive ass Pitbull question, bro. Anyway, this is just more rinse, wash, and repeat from these guys at 130, 135, and 140, bro. Can anybody, any one of y'all, can y'all sell yourselves, bro? Can y'all sell your product? Can you sell yourself as a boxer without having to rely on Gervonta Tank Davis? Because y'all keep saying Tank fans' worst nightmare is Tank leaving, or Tank retiring is bad for Tank fans, and Tank fans gonna be in shambles. Nigga, what is Shakur, Lamont, Keyshawn, Devin, Timalifu? What are these dudes gonna do, bro? You can't. Every interview they do is a Tank Davis question. Everything that they got going on with their identities is centered around Tank. Who gonna want to talk to them? Who gonna want to watch them? People literally watch their fights and be like, let me see if I think he can beat Tank. Let me see if I think he can. I think he can beat Tank. Let me see if I think he can. Like, it's just crazy, bro. And Lamont Roach all the way out of pocket. He admits, yeah, I would have did it, but I at least would have called him first. Nigga, no, you wouldn't, because you ain't called him before you did none of the other bullshit you did to him. Smash the like, sub to the channel, though, man. I'll see y'all soon. Peace.